the High Line, one of my favorite places in all of New York City. However, most people come here during a very sunny day, or especially during the summer and spring months. But I encourage all of you to visit the High Line on a rainy day during the winter, because you almost have it to yourself. It's nice, calm, you get to see the city immersed in the beautiful fog. It's a wonderful, wonderful time to visit the High Line. So today, let's walk across the High Line on this rainy day. No particular tour, no particular history, no particular agenda, just to enjoy the beautiful sights of New York City. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, and let's go on the High Line, the elevated park of New York, 1.45 miles long. Welcome everyone. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me show you the beautiful views of the High Line. We're starting today on the 14th Street entrance. The reason we're starting here, which is just 3 stories below, is because below 14th Street to Gansevoort, it is under construction currently. Hey Ronald, nice to see you here. Hello, Kay, Dina. Linda, when am I going to the Bronx? Next week, stay tuned. Hey Darren, you and Alex are now members of the High Line. Oh, that's so cool. So here we have one of the plazas underneath the High Line. Simran says, congrats on 36K. Oh, thank you, Simran. So let me show you the views down 14th Street. Oh, look at that. 14th Street, one of the double wide streets of New York City. Perfect opportunity to take photos from the perspective of the High Line. It's a very unique perspective. If it's a sunny, clear day, you'll be able to see all the way to the East River. But since it is a rainy day, I think there's a different cool aesthetic. You might not see to the East River, but you'll see the buildings immersed in fog. Now, for context, we're actually right next to the Hudson River. So we're almost seeing the entire length of Manhattan, depending on how clear it is. It's also a great time to take selfies because usually it has nice even lighting. And we have Bob, he's flying in. And here we have the different fashion houses. Here we have Giorgio Armani. The buildings from the manufacturing or the meatpacking history of this area, the neighborhood. So if you enjoy these walks, slam that like button right now. Slam that like button like Bob slams a good pizza when he finds it on the street. Slam that like button right now and let me know if you are on team like. Let's bring these videos to more people as possible. A lot of people could use a rainy day walk through the High Line, and I'm so happy for everyone pressing that like button. We've had some videos go more than 1,000, all the way up to 3,000 likes for one of the videos, which blew my mind. It's absolutely amazing. It's brought these videos to so many people. I've received so many wonderful messages privately from individuals who said that this is the video that they really needed to see because they're going through some things on their own life. So let's continue walking through the High Line. Feel free to ask me any questions. Ronald is Team Like, MAR. Thank you so much for being Team Like. Appreciate you. All right, let's continue walking around. So here, let me see better perspective down here. And let's zoom in. Wow, we can almost see the East River even on this cloudy day. Hey, Phyllis, you love this. Your videos are my oasis nowadays, says Patricia. Indeed. Oh, awesome, Patricia. That's so awesome to hear. Nice day for a cloudy, drizzly walk. Yes, indeed. So I'm going to take my sweet, sweet time. There's plenty of videos you could see of a faster walk through the High Line. We're taking our sweet, sweet time here on Urbanist. Suzanne says, glad you're here. My pleasure, Suzanne. I apologize for being a few minutes late. Sometimes with commuting, it gets a little bit tricky on rainy days. Dean says, I love watching your videos when we're not able to get to New York. It gets me in touch with what's going down here. Phyllis, yeah, you could kind of consider these sky bridges. I'll show you the main sky bridge, the famous one. We're only a few blocks away. Oh. So here we see, this was one of the entrances for the White Star Line, if I'm correct. And the Cunard was right next door here on Chelsea Piers. And this was supposed to be the entrance that the people who were disembarking from the Titanic were to come in through New York City. Gwen says, I do not accept your apology. Oh no, Gwen. 1 p.m. or bust. So yeah, this is the entrance the Titanic was supposed to come through into New York City, but none of them did. Only a few hundred actually came in by another boat, the Carpathia. Stupid hey, Nuggets. What was my reason for making videos about history? I just always loved history. I always loved cities ever since I was 8, 6, 7 years old. I used to play with Legos. I used to play games like SimCity, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Railroad Tycoon. I've always been obsessed with cities ever since I was little, and history as well. Hope you recovered from that pie yesterday, says Kay. Indeed I have. Indeed I have. You know, I had a good meal last night from that poke bowl place. Here we have Chelsea Piers, Marine and Aviation Pier 57. Here we have Bob. He's hanging out. Bob is trying to court one of his Bobettes, but she ain't having it. She ain't having it today. She's a little bit tired of Bob's. S-H-I-T. Hey everyone, I got a new gimbal. Let me know if it looks good, if it's shaky. Are you seeing shakiness? I got a new gimbal. Thanks to all the supporters out there for supporting the show. I'm able to get new gear, but sometimes with new gear you run at the risk of, you know, things being different. So let me know if the quality of the video still looks the same or still looks as steady as it used to. Ronald aims to see Bob. Yes, so cool. And here we see the elevated park. I mean, not the elevated park, sorry. The floating park. Oh my God. Wow, that is looking really cool. Look how high they built that hill. Oh, wow. Kay says it's a bit shaky. Yeah, it is a bit shaky. For some reason, I'm not sure why. This is a bit shaky. Look at that hill. That's so awesome. I can't wait to visit that park now. Now I know what they were aiming for. Whoa. It's great. Why did you buy a new gimbal? The other one was already getting a little bit too old. So gimbals wore out in their motors. So gimbals have 2 to 3 motors and usually they go worn out over time. Frank says it's shaking more than before. Yeah, I think it is. I'm not sure why. That's a shame. What's the hill for? Oh, it's a park, Robert. For the mere pleasure of human beings. That's what the park is for. Nothing practical. Melinda says it's a bit shaky, but looks great. Yeah. All right, thank you everyone for letting me know. Kind of bummed that it's not as steady as it used to be. All right. This is the Nabisco factory. National Biscuit Company. Used to be, at least. This is where they invented the Oreo. And it encompassed the entire city block, including the building right next to it, hence Phyllis's favorite, the Sky Bridge. Photos around New York, you say that the Hydrox is better than the Oreo. Oh, those are bold words. Bold words. So Phyllis has been asking for sky bridges. I've shown many, but let's linger on the sky bridge for Phyllis. She's been watching for a while. Phyllis, enjoy this sky bridge. Take it in. Take in all the details. Take screenshots. It looks like a rail car. Yeah, it seems they have plants inside, which is interesting. Connects two buildings together. I wish New York City had more sky bridges. Beautiful, kind of, almost looks a little bit Art Deco in a way. I wonder if this was built after the construction of the Nabisco factory. How old is it? You know, I don't know exactly how old the Sky Bridge is. I think the Nabisco factory dates back to around the 1890s. There's steel reinforcements inside, yeah. Now you can walk both directions in the High Line. That's good news. Used to be forced to only walk one direction during the height of the pandemic. Brian says, can you say hi to my wife, Tracy? Hey, Tracy from Newcastle upon Tyne, England. Oh, I love that name. Hey, hope you recover well from your surgery. Everyone send a round of hearts to Tracy. Hope you recover well from your surgery. This is why I ask people to press that like button. It's the easiest way for YouTube to bring these videos to people who need them for various reasons. So hopefully, Tracy, this video cheers you up. May you recover speedily and quickly, and also very fastly as well. All the types of quick. Just can't get over these buildings immersed in fog. This is so cool. Can you walk on the Sky Bridge, says Mala. No, it's closed. I think it might be only open for the building, but usually these buildings are owned by different people, so different companies, so they usually don't even use the Sky Bridge. But here's another Sky Bridge. I can actually show you a better view downstairs. Let's go. We hear a little bit of sparrows. We hear Susan the sparrow somewhere down there. What street is the Sky Bridge on? It's on 10th Avenue, between 10th and 9th, on 13th Street. 10th and 9th and 13th Street. No, sorry, not 13th. This is 16th. Nuggets, have I ran into someone famous? Yeah, last week I ran into Sarah Jessica Parker from Sex and the City fame. So another Sky Bridge here. Phyllis, may you enjoy the beauty of this Sky Bridge. This one you might be able to walk through if you work for Google, because I think both buildings are owned by Google over here. We'll zoom in even more into the Sky Bridge. Gunter, 15th Street. Is this 15th? 15th, sorry, 15th. 15th is the Sky Bridge, thank you. 15th. 15th, between 10th and 9th. So as we can see, the railroad actually stopped inside the buildings. So here, stopped inside the buildings, would unload into the factory. In this case, Nabisco, National Biscuit Company, known for Oreos and a bunch of other things. Let me know what else is the Nabisco treat. And they will also do stops here to this building as well. Both buildings. Ashley says, have I gone to Starbucks? Ashley, I did. I went to Starbucks and ordered an extremely expensive cold brew, a $13 cold brew. It was really fun. Yeah, I like that Starbucks. Check out the video from about a month ago at this point. Ooh, it's getting cold now. Getting chilly. Phyllis says, yes, to unload all the flour for the cookies. Yeah, indeed. Thank God the High Line wasn't torn down, says Phyllis. Yes, yes. Thank God. If only Starbucks sold meat pies. If only. If only. You know, I am close to a British grocery called Mayors of Keswick. I'm actually tempted to just go there after this video and redeem the great pie fiasco from last night and have a much better meat pie for a much lower price. Let's check it out. You guys want to sneak in? Oh, could this be the new Urbanist offices? Kevin says, years from now, they'll speak with reverence of the great pie fiasco 2021. Indeed. Indeed. Cool lighting, says Wendy. I agree. This could be the HQ of the Urbanist Empire. Indeed. I think it can. The place for the first Urbanist coffee shop. Imagine just like extending this window and just could be being like a huge entrance. Over here, this could be the huge entrance. All the rest could be windows. Huge entrance into the massive Urbanist coffee shop. It just has a tiny little coffee bar, but the rest is just Just like beautiful drawings and murals of cities all around the world. Press that like button if you want to see an urbanist coffee shop at some point. Would you sell $13 coffee though? I would probably not. I'll leave that to Starbucks. I'll keep my coffee under $10. Hey Alexandra, nice to see you here. I'm doing well. So someone asked about the benches. Hey Laureen, how are you doing? Hope we're doing well. Well, these are not the tracks. We'll see the tracks soon. Haven't popped up yet. Hey Janice. Oh, fog, yes. Who else loves fog? Let me know. Lisa asks, would I collaborate with a coffee brand or create my own? When I start a coffee company, or coffee shop, I would probably work directly with a coffee brand. I would not want to get into the roasting process. I don't aim to be a roaster. I just aim to be the shop. So maybe I'll work exclusively with an awesome coffee brand. Probably a different coffee brand for each city, maybe. Because New York has their own, like Grumpy and Joe. Chicago has Intelligentsia. LA has, Portland has Stumptown. There's a few others. London has its own array of coffee roasters. So maybe each city could work exclusively with one of the coffee roasters there. But the shop will be called Urbanist. Just the coffee will be made by one of those roasters from the city. I think that would be really cool. Hey, Mulaney, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So Mulaney is joining in, sponsoring this rainy day walk. Well, it's not so rainy, but it did rain before. And thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate you. Mulaney is a frequent super chatter, so give hearts to Mulaney. Wow, so empty, says Beth. Yeah, that's the benefit of coming here on a rainy day. Not that many people. Hey Raymond, nice to see you here. Good idea because Starbucks has reserve roastery on 15th. Indeed. Love fog when I'm down by the moors on the full moon, says Enterprise. Enterprise, putting a werewolf emoji. Yeah, today's a full moon, right? It is. You could have cats that poop out your special coffee. Oh, maybe for the Vietnam or the Bali version of the coffee shop. Probably not here. Ooh, neon signs, look at that. You look colorful today, says Dickens. Oh, thank you, Dickens. I try my best. Try my best to bring on the color. Yes, the coffee shop, the coffee cup will be orange. It'll be all Urbanist orange cups. Both the paper to go ones and also the ones to stay. Also, this is closed right now. I guess because of construction. Joy, thank you so much for the 100 stars. Someone else sent stars. I think it was Kathleen. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Lisa, I really enjoyed your Lincoln Center night walk. It was very calming. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Ken says, hope Susu makes a tour. Yeah, Susu usually turns in. You know, my hair is really curly today. Yeah, it is the humidity. So let's take in the scene. You know why? Because we're actually gonna get to that other area. You see that little statue on what appears to also be the High Line? That is the final part of the High Line called the Spur. That's where we're going. So keep that in mind. We're actually going to walk all the way around 10th Avenue, more along 11th, all the way till there. Uh-oh. We got someone in the comments who is saying to keep on walking. To go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Can we remind that person in the comments who shall remain nameless what urbanist wanderings are all about? It ain't about going. It's about wandering. It's about chilling. It's about relaxing. So no, I won't be going. I'll be relaxing. I'll be taking my sweet time over here. If I would be spending an hour over here, but you know, probably won't, but I could. Don't tempt me. Susie says, what's the rush? Yes, if you have any meetings, I'm sorry, but you'll be late for them. You'll be late for all your meetings.
I know, but we live together. I don't know if people...
All right, here's a better view down 10th. Kevin says, the lost art of lingering. Indeed, yeah, the lost art of lingering. So cool that you can see down the avenues here. It's a really unique perspective. Let me know, are there any other cities where you can kind of get this perspective? I think maybe Chicago from its elevated train, but is there anywhere else? Is there any other city that I might not know of yet that you can catch perspectives down a fairly straight street? I really didn't see that in London. Of course, not really in Paris. I don't think so. I'll show them Mother Teresa. Yeah, this is Mother Teresa and Gandhi. Yeah. Hey, Cynthia says the computer is a little bit more delayed than the phone. Yeah, I'm not sure why that happens. SF Field says Madrid has these views. Yeah, it's right. Madrid is very hilly. I think San Francisco might be the same deal. Just for fun, you should do a power walk episode. Drink like $5, $13 coffees and go, 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 says Johnny. Yeah, maybe, Johnny. Maybe that should be my collaboration with Walking Commuter. Let me know if anyone knows if Walking Commuter drinks coffee. I don't know him too well. I haven't met him yet. But if he does drink coffee, then maybe that could be our collaboration. Just drink as many coffees as super speed walk. The entire length of Manhattan under 1 hour. That'll probably not be possible. Or will it? Hey, Dutch Moz, nice to see you here. Another building covered in fog. Oh, your scarf is homage to spring colors. It is. It was gifted to me by Kay. Kay was so kind of her to gift me an amazing scarf. So thank you, Kay. Thomas, how do I feel after my fantastic meal yesterday? Much better after a good night's sleep. All is well after a good night's sleep. Shulio says, we have proof on video that you walk really fast. Shh, Shulio, don't let anyone know. Don't spill my secrets. Carmen says you're very tall. No one tell Carmen that I'm actually only 5'2". I'm actually 5'2". I just hold the camera like this when I point it the other direction, and that's how I end up looking very tall. Yeah, that's how I do like the tall kind of look. Works, right? It works. Great clarity on your camera. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I'll figure out what happened with the shakiness. Are they still limiting people on the High Line? Yeah, they are. Lisa says Bob Doyle has another city for you with that great perspective view. Was that Philly? Oh, where in Philly? Are the live streams on YT or also on FB? Yes, they're on FB and also on Twitch. All three at the same time. Put exclamation point socials and you'll see all the different links, or on FB, Kate could provide you with a link. So here are the Barrel Apartments by Thomas Heatherwick. Thomas Heatherwick is known in New York City for building the Vessel, which we're going to see a little bit later. And he's also known for building the modern double-decker buses in London, which actually ended up being a great disaster because while Thomas Heatherwick is a talented architect and designer, he's not quite a talented engineer. And the buses end up overheating and short-circuiting. So like the air conditioning went down, and that's why you might remember if you went on London buses 2 or 3 years ago, they were very hot for a while because all the air conditioners went down. This building used to see it. This condo is now blocking it, but this building used to see it from the perspective of the High Line. I wish I could show you from that old perspective. You might find older videos of mine. But what does it look like? I mentioned the Titanic before, and this is the ICE building for basically this is a company of companies. Ab says you're a clown. Oh no, Ab, this is a very, very serious show, Ab. Very serious show. What does this look like? Not the barrel. This is the barrel shape, the barrel building. I forgot the name. What do people call it again? This is the barrel one with Thomas Heatherwick. Talking about this one. What does it look like? AJ. It's rather weird because it looks like something related to the Titanic. Donald, sorry, Donald. Thank you so much for clarifying. Sorry, I say ICE. I meant IAC, which I think are owners of Match.com, OkCupid. I think they have investment also in Diana von Furstenberg, maybe a bunch of companies. Cynthia, Susie, and Chris got it right. Yes, that building to many New Yorkers looks like a gigantic iceberg. Is it intentional? I'm not sure. But it is right on Chelsea Piers, right where the Titanic was supposed to come if it weren't hit by an iceberg. Phyllis says it looks unfinished. Maybe. The building looks exactly like a computer rendering, says Dutch. Yeah, like a very bad computer rendering is trying to render this modern architecture, but failed. Maybe. I mean, it's beautiful architecture. I think Frank Gehry is the one who constructed that. Beautiful architecture, but yeah. It is funny. Here we can see down another perspective of a street. This is 18th Street. Antoinette says that building is pretty cool. I get it, Antoinette. I get it. You could say you're being a little bit too ice cold with that statement. Hey, Gorgon. Gehry, people either love or hate his designs. I'm a fan of Gehry. Inkspire says they're either a fan or you either love it or hate it. Yeah, I don't think Gehry is as hated as some other architects, like Heatherwick over here, with the barrel buildings behind us. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, yeah. His architecture can sometimes be a little bit controversial. But I think a lot of people do love him. Let me know. What's your thoughts on Gehry? He's known for the curvy architecture, like the iceberg. A lot of people are walking the opposite direction. Interesting. They're walking from Hudson Yards. So here, would you live here? Let me know. Enterprise says, do I have a good sense of humor? No, I have no sense of humor at all. No. No sense of humor. This is a serious show. Serious, okay? We're talking about serious architecture, serious urban design, serious topics, okay? All right? All jokes, you know, I'm not making any jokes. I don't know why people are laughing. I ain't making any jokes. I ain't making any jokes. I don't know why. Why are you laughing? Wendy, why are you laughing? I ain't making any jokes. This is a serious show. Let me know. MAR says 1,000 times yes, I would live here. You get front row seat to, you can people watch any day, every day. You can people watch. But if you want to live in this apartment, do not walk around naked, because you'll get everyone a front row view. Over here, at least, you won't be that visible. Swisser says $10 super chat. Thank you so much. The sarcasm keeps bringing us back, says. What? No, that's not my intention. I want all of you to watch because of the serious topics I discuss. Would you live in this building over here? Here, you'll get front view. You can cook naked, enjoy, you know, you're not giving anyone a show because it's your home. Would they stop you? Could the city stop you if you have your windows open? And you like to cook, you know, as Benjamin Franklin once said, get an air bath. Oh, this is a kind of cool perspective. This was not visible the other time because I think it was covered in scaffolding. Look at this. We're kind of surrounded by both of the barrel buildings. SJ would live here. All those windows are like the Seinfeld episode, The Contest. Oh, I gotta check that out. Selfie time. Seja says, why would you cook naked? Why wouldn't you cook naked? I think that's the even better question. Because sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes there's just not enough time to, like Nelly said in the amazing song, sometimes there's not enough time to put your clothes on. That's one. It's SF Fields, I agree. SF Fields warns against cooking unclothed with bacon. Yeah, don't do that. Be safe, everyone. I do not condone cooking naked. All of this is hypothetical because this is a very serious conversation about architecture, okay? Wow. I mean, I gotta admit, these apartments are nice. They seem to be, each barrel seems to be 2 floors. So we got 1 floor over here, pretty high ceilings, and another floor right up there, which lower ceilings. They had to get spectacular windows from the inside. They would warp the perspective a bit. Yeah, I wonder how it would look inside because outside you can kind of see clearly. We can see clearly the furniture inside. There's a little bit of reflectiveness, so we don't see it so clearly. But look at this. Yeah, I think it's fairly clear. Oh my God. What is this? Whoa. It's Tiffany's. Is this open 24/7? No, it usually closes. Normally it used to close at 11 p.m., but now I think it closes fairly early. I think it's around 7 p.m. now. Look at this. The Barrel Building has its own entrance to the High Line. Whoa. Oh my God, that's so cool. Okay, that might make it worth it. I would buy the penthouse if I could have a private entrance to the High Line. Look at that. Wow. Man, that is amazing. It's like the coolest thing ever. And this is probably maybe a common space. Susie says more convenience for the wealthy. Yeah, yeah. It pays to be a billionaire. There's some perks. There's some perks to being a billionaire. Some. Official name of this building. I don't know if anyone can let us know. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a common space. It looks like an apartment. We see a kitchen. Susie says I sound so bitter. It's okay, Susie. I get it. I wish we had more parks in our cities accessible to people of all incomes. That'd be nice. Virgil says, don't forget to press that like button. Yes, press that like button right now. I'll show you more beautiful architecture. Sheila says, no thanks, no privacy. These windows are a little bit better. Look at this. This is a bit of a better, like more homey kind of vibes. Avi says, oh my gosh, I want my studio here. It's a human zoo, says Austin. Indeed. Ronald says, I'll let you stay there when I win the lottery. Oh, thank you, Ronald. I appreciate it. I mean, in reality, my entire channel is a one gigantic, years-long apartment hunting video. There we go. I said it, everyone. I revealed the true intention of Urbanist. In actuality, this is just a multi-thousand episode apartment hunting video. Here we have the tracks of the High Line. Oh, we see, oh my God, we actually saw someone in the apartment. It's awkward. She looked directly at the camera. Did not see her. Did not realize anyone actually lived in these apartments. I did not know that anyone actually lived in these apartments. And I accidentally pointed the camera directly at one of the residents. That's so awkward. I just feel awkward even standing here now. She's like still there working on her computer. Oh, this is so weird. Oh, that's so weird. Let me know. What do you think about that? Stephanie says, some folks are exhibitionists. Yeah, she's exhibiting her working from home. Here we have the seminary. Also the High Line Hotel. This is the place where you can get a beautiful intelligentsia coffee in a double-decker London bus. Watch my video like a month ago. As long as she was dressed, yes, she was. She was working. Tanny is purely by mistake. Ooh, we got more apartments here. When I was, ooh, who is this? Enterprise. So when I was back in seminary school, I said, you cannot petition the Lord with prayer. Oh, yeah, Enterprise. That's indeed. That's so cool that you went to seminary school. I hope to cover a seminary at some point. With COVID, it's a bit hard to gain entrance, but I've had a few people connect me with fathers and other clergymen about going into a seminary and showing it to you as a tour. Stay tuned. Hopefully one day soon. Very interesting area, says Yoli. Is this Brooklyn? No. This is Meatpacking District in Manhattan. If only Brooklyn was like this gorgeous, it would be nice. I mean, there's beautiful parts of Brooklyn, but it'd be really cool to have an area like this with the elevated park. This would be possible in Queens, because Queens has a elevated railroad track that is abandoned and then runs through a few neighborhoods. So potentially you can have the High Line in the middle of Queens. Dickens says Columbia Seminary. Yeah, that was one of the seminaries I got a connection to. We're walking the plank. Did Mad Men film in this neighborhood? I doubt it, because back in the era where Mad Men takes place, for anyone who doesn't know, Mad Men is a show about advertising firms in the 1950s, 60s, and I think they extend all the way to the early 70s. Do feel free to clarify. But at that time, the Meatpacking District was nearly abandoned. It had nightclubs, but the nightclubs were seen as very gritty. Lots of like LGBT nightclubs. There was like a disco roller skating rink. There was a few cool things, but they were seen as gritty more than fashionable or trendy. So I don't think Don Draper would have visited this in the show. I've only seen about like 4 seasons of it, but I don't think he visited it. I doubt that would be the case. But I could be wrong. Let me know if anyone knows. For example, one nightclub here was called the Leatherman, I think it was called. If anyone can refresh my memory. It was a club where you would just dress in tight leather, black leather. Yeah, and you can just imagine, what would it transpire in that club? You can fill it in with your imagination. There's a movie that depicts that scene, albeit a bit exaggerated and maybe a little bit derogatory. I think it's called After Hours. Is it called After Hours? With Al Pacino. And the Ramrod, says Max. Thank you. Ramrod was another, yeah. Roxy Roller Rink. Yes. There you go. A lot of people know the history. Thank you. Summer says Disco Roller Rink. I'm in. Yes, indeed. So a few months ago, one of the fans of my show, he might be tuning in right now, he introduced me to his dad, who was based in New York City in the 1970s. And he knows a lot about the World's Fair, which you might see him hopefully later this year. But he also used to work for the main disco roller rink. And he's also known as one of the top disco roller rink teachers in the US currently. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So maybe one day you'll see a disco roller rink episode. I think there's one club here in New York City, so you might see the club itself, and we'll talk about the history down here. Oh, the Al Pacino movie's not After Hours, it's called Cruising. Cruising, thank you, Cruising. Big protest against the movie Cruising. Yes, do keep in mind that was a movie made in a different time with different sensibilities than we have today. Let's keep that in mind. Wendy was obsessed with roller skating when I was young. What seminary is that behind you? I forgot the name, but this seminary, and it also was a Coventry. And now the Coventry was turned into a hotel, the Highline Hotel. Everyone, remember, you are beautiful. We have a few Wendy's watching. I appreciate the multiple Wendy's commenting. The General Theological Seminary. Thank you so much, SF Fields. That's the name. The General Theological Seminary. It might be interdenominational with that name. So that means that different sects of the Christian faith train under there. Here we have more tracks. These. You Are Beautiful. Cue the song by Christina Aguilera. Evan, you're in the Chelsea area, Meatpacking District. Chelsea, yes indeed. I love that the tree is orange. I agree. That's the amazing thing of the landscape designer, Pete Olaf. He is such a talented landscaper that he made this look. The gardening is beautiful, even if it's wintertime. Usually gardens are designed with spring and summer in mind. But here, they've designed it so well that you have these beautiful perennials here. We're gonna see a few more. We see a pine tree there in the front.
You should try a lead.
Yeah, this I'm sure I can probably do.
It's a cool plant indeed, I agree. Here's the Church of the Guardian Angel. Has a great design in the front. I hope to visit inside one day. If anyone knows what that orange tree is, I'm so curious. I love it. Natural garden is not easier, says Chris. Yeah, this is more difficult, but I think Pete talks about the fact that when he starts combining all these different plants together, over time it becomes easier to maintain. Unlike, say, a French garden or the gardens that you see in England, those are a little bit harder to maintain because they are more kind of purposeful. They are more human-made. Though don't quote me on that. That's only what I've learned. Cauliflower says, sorry about the meat pie. Oh, thank you, Cauliflower, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. I'm gonna buy a better meat pie after this video at Mayor's of Keswick. Great color, yeah, I agree. Beautiful tree. Look at this. Hard to focus. Oh, there's these small berries here. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Debbie says, I need to go to New Zealand for a great meat pie. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to go to New Zealand, Australia. I heard a few New Zealanders have told me about the meat pies over there. I've also tried Australian meat pies. They are very nice as well. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful berries. Gorgeous. These trees are so maintained. You never see like fungus on them. They're so well, I don't know, kept. It's really impressive. Brendan, there's a British bakery somewhere in New York City that makes better meat pies. Yeah, if anyone has good savory pie recommendations here in New York City, do let me know. Let me know right now. Ooh, wow. A meat pie tour of the world, says Kevin. You can make gin out of those berries. I hope so. I hope if you make gin out of those berries, you will not die of poisoning. Does Bubby's only make sweet pies? Yeah, Bubby's only is a sweet pie maker. Mayors of Norwich. I gotta check that out, Phyllis. I haven't heard of it yet. I'll look into it. Mayors of Norwich. Thank you. Reminds me of Christmas. Yeah, it kind of looks like the Christmas tree.
I had the most wild dream.
The world is your meat pie, says Ronald. Someone just mentioned I should do a meat pie around the world tour. All right, I'm gonna pitch Netflix. I'm gonna pitch Netflix. Or Amazon Prime. I'm going to tell them an entire show, one man, traveling across the world to explore all the different meat pies that exist, from samosas in India to empanadas in Argentina to pastelillos in Puerto Rico to Cornish pasties to shepherd's pie, everything. Let me know if you will watch that show. It's like Stanley Tucci's A Taste for Little Italy, or A Taste for Italy, or something like that, except for meat pie. Just all meat pies. In search of meat pies. I bet there's a good pun that can be obtained from Sweeney Todd. There must be a Sweeney Todd pun in there. But there might not be the best pun to have. You probably won't want a Sweeney Todd association with that show. If you haven't seen Sweeney Todd and enjoy meat pies, I would recommend not seeing it. Do you have a wonderful imagination, asks Enterprise? No imagination whatsoever. The show is serious, as I mentioned. Felicia says, I'm running out to get some Jamaican beef pies. The tree was witch hazel. Ooh, oh yeah, witch hazel is an herb used for, is it for creams and things like that? Or for healing wounds? That's kind of cool. Oh, Kay says, we have a men's hairdresser here called Sweeney Todd's. Uh-oh. Seja says, no, not the best pun. Nope. Dutch says, we have a party when there's no more scaffolding in the High Line. Oh, that'll be nice. witch hazel is also astringent. What does that mean, Cheryl? What is an astringent? Do let me know. I would not go to a barber with the name Sweeney Todd. Yes, me neither. I would be very suspicious of it. Colette, I can't, but do feel free to repeat it. We can't even see the high-rises of the Hudson Yards. Cauliflower says, let's see the foods of the world. I would love that. Yeah. Thank you so much for the other $5 super chat. Astringent means toner. Oh. Astringent closes pores and constricts skin cells. Oh. Might not be good to apply to your skin unless if you have wounds. This is one of the few buildings that was allowed to be constructed slightly above the High Line. What is the scaffolding for? I don't fully know. Don't fully know. Here's another famous view. This is one of the original co-op buildings in New York City, constructed in the early 1900s. Encompasses an entire city block. They're called the Chelsea Apartments. The High Line is free indeed. Has anyone seen the YouTube channel City Beautiful? Let me know. It's a great channel. I learned a lot about urban design from that guy. He's a professor in urban design. And his intro sequence is this view. So Panajotas asked, what do I mean by co-op? So co-op means a cooperative apartment. Cooperative apartments are basically, you co-own the building, I think. Do correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the full details, but you co-own the building, and that means that you pay for the amenities, for the security, for maintaining the building overall. You have a small stake in the building, like buying stock in a company. I think that's what cooperative means. Anyone, feel free to clarify. So in essence, you do own a share of the building. I think the shares might be dependent on how big the apartment is. That might be the case as well. And there's a board, and the reason people might be attracted to a co-op as opposed to a condominium is because a co-op is more community oriented. So it's not just one developer owning the building or maintaining the building, but in a sense, the maintenance is communal in a co-op. So you can think of a co-op even in terms of being a city within a city, a tiny little city, or like a garden city, like Forest Hills, just condensed into a building or a structure. So Enterprise says, yes, you can also you're not able to sue the co-op because you're also a part owner. So in essence, you'll be suing yourself. Too many rules in the co-op. Yeah, Stephanie, I think that might be what turns people off from the co-op as well. And there is an approval process. It might be long. And of course, with that approval process, there's a lot of controversy, which I won't get into in this video, but there is a lot of controversy. So Babu, in condo, you just buy the apartment. I think you buy the apartment with the understanding that the developer or some type of company maintains the building. Buildings, remember, buildings have a lot of maintenance. Water, electricity, heating, air conditioning, HVAC system, which provides airflow, a common space area. It might have a gym if it's a more expensive condo. There's a lot of things. Window washing, a lot of things takes to maintain any type of high-rise structure. But with that, I think the condo, you buy the apartment, you own the apartment, you can resell the apartment to anyone. There's no approval process, but I think there's an understanding or some type of contract where the owner of the building or a company maintains it. Let me know. Things get a little bit complicated. Condo gives you a mortgage, and you can buy and sell as you wish, says Phyllis. Right. A co-op might be more affordable than a condo. Yep. Because you are buying the co-op, but you're buying the smaller share in essence. You have to interview and be approved by a majority of the board for a co-op. Right. And Kiehl's, yes, Kiehl's is in Hudson Yards. Yeah. Well, older skincare companies in New York City. This one, I think, is a condo. Yeah, this one is a condo. More of the newer ones you see are condos. I don't know if there's new co-op constructions. Let me know. A co-op is probably harder to sell. I think that's the case, yeah. For example, this is just an apartment. I don't think you buy this apartment. I think you can buy the building, but I don't think you own the apartment. So people rent these apartments. So that's the difference. Apartment, co-op, condo. 3 different things. Susie says you're not allowed to sublet in co-ops. Yeah, right. It gets a little bit tricky to sublet as well. Or straight illegal or not allowed by the cooperative. And can the cooperative kick you out? Give you your shares back in essence, pay the market equivalent for your shares? Wendy says, great info. My pleasure, Wendy. My pleasure. Again, half of my videos are wanderings. This is what I call wandering, is not researched beforehand. I know a lot of things because I do a lot of history videos as well. But again, I have no notes, no teleprompter, no second phone to clarify any information. This is a live video. It's not edited either. So any information you learn here, do your own research. Do your own research.
Start running.
Hey, Brian says, my wife says a big thank you. All the well wishes. You have cheered her up. Oh, I'm so glad, Brian. So glad that cheered up Tracy. Enterprise says, I've done very well. I live in co-ops and sold them over the years, not as business, just to live. Maybe I was lucky. Oh, that's so cool. Majority of co-ops are owned by corporations. Oh, interesting, Dickens. Yeah, I mean, real estate starts getting very interesting. Very interesting. Real estate, there was a massive transfer of power in real estate here in the US in the last crash. So, Gwen says, you have led me down many rabbit holes with your conversations. Right, these are conversations, off the cuff, no edits. So I think I'm of the belief that it's okay to discuss intellectual topics, even if you don't know everything, every single figure, every single date, every single data. You don't always have to speak with 100% clarity. You can have a free-flowing intellectual conversation. And I think online, especially on live video, it's a good space to have them. So when I get sometimes angry comments of people saying, you got this date wrong, you don't know anything, why don't make a video if you don't know it? Like, what's the fun in that? Nonetheless, in 2007, there was a massive transfer of power when it came to real estate. There was a huge real estate crash. A lot of people know a massive global crash all around the world. Crashed the entire economies of places like Greece. Hopefully, I think they recovered since then. But with that, a lot of people were owning their own homes in essence. In essence, they were owning their homes. In reality, you never do. Even since the beginning of this country's history, you actually really don't own your house. You really don't own it. Because, A, there's eminent domain laws. So at any moment's notice, the US government and many other governments around the world have very similar laws, if not the same, can say, hey, we want to build a massive railroad, or a massive train, or a massive subway station, or a massive highway, or a massive sports arena that would be good for the people, good for the people. Sometimes it is authentically good for the people. Sometimes within quotes. And they can give you market value for that property. The thing is, within quotes, it's not always good for the people. Sports arenas are not necessarily something absolutely necessary. And then beyond that, market value can be very subjective. The city could do some wiggling around, or the government could do some wiggling around with the numbers and say, oh, your property, oh no, this townhouse in Park Slope is not worth $1 million. No, due to all the studies we're seeing and all the whatnot and all the taxes, it's actually only worth $400,000. And you could be put into a corner. And this has been used to subjugate many populations in the US. And also, that's why I say you don't really own your place. Eminent domain is just one of many different instances. Property taxes is another thing. You don't really own any property. In essence, the government owns the property, regardless if you live in a capitalistic society like the US or Europe, or you live in some other society that's a little bit more governmental control, like China or even Japan, for example. So, that said, in 2008, there was a lot of people own their property with mortgages that they had, and they were paying their property on debt. And suddenly, that crashed because a lot of people either had too much debt, the companies couldn't keep holding all that debt, and there was a massive crash. I'm oversimplifying the entire thing, but watch a movie like The Big Short if you want a more entertaining example. But that said, with that massive crash in the real estate market that crashed the economies of places all around the world, including entire countries like Greece, there was a massive transfer of real estate power. Because suddenly a lot of individuals and families no longer own their buildings. They lost their mortgages, they lost their houses, they had to foreclose on those houses, and the banks and corporations started gobbling them up. And these new companies called real estate trusts and other things started owning massive swaths of American real estate, including massive swaths of real estate here in New York City. That's why rent is sometimes obscenely high in neighborhoods like these, where it's very difficult to open up a mom and pop coffee shop and only places like Starbucks can afford it, or maybe more regional brands like La Colombe can afford it. So as you're walking around, keep that in mind, that a lot of this real estate is starting to be owned by major companies. People no longer own their own land. For context, I watched my older videos of Brooklyn, especially this past summer of 2020. I covered a lot of neighborhoods in Brooklyn via car. And a lot of the developers in the late 1800s, early 1900s were 30-somethings. They were people my age building entire neighborhoods. My age building entire neighborhoods. That is such a rarity today. Imagine the 30-something building a neighborhood, having the capital, the ability, the financial structure and support to build a whole neighborhood. That is impossible nowadays. Impossible. Well, not impossible, but highly difficult. I would be hard pressed to find that many 30-somethings being developers. There's not that many. If they are, they had a lot of family wealth. So I think that's very fascinating to think about when you're walking around these cities. Keep that in mind. I don't think it's necessarily something to be bummed out about. You can get bummed out about, but it is something that could change your perspective of what it really means to live in the city, what it really means to build a city. Are our cities actually ours, or do they belong to a few companies? And what are the governmental structures that only aid for those companies to have a safety net to continue owning larger and larger swaths, while those safety nets don't really exist for individuals like a 30-something to maybe want to build a building. Think about that. But in the comments, don't discuss politics. We don't discuss national politics. This conversation is more about urban planning. So let's not to discuss the minutia of policies and political people in office. Let's not get into that. Oh, the fog is clearing. Would you prefer to live in a co-op, condo, or underground layer? Ask Ronald. Ideally, I would love to own a building. That would be nice at some point. Ideally, I would love to own a building and live in the penthouse in the middle of New York City. Yeah, that's what I would do. Otherwise, in the immediate future, I would prefer to just rent or buy a condo in the immediate future. But then again, if I were 1890s, same age, I would be able to own that building if I wanted to, because there was a lot more financial support structure to do so. You need your own volcanic layer. Kevin, well, that volcanic layer will be specific for the live streaming cartel. All of us in cahoots with each other. We will collectively own that volcanic layer. Are you walking uptown? Yeah, we're going uptown, Vida. We have about 30 more minutes. I love my rent-controlled apartment. It says, I ain't leaving, says Dutch. I don't blame you, Dutch. Yeah, that's so cool that you got a rent-controlled apartment. Penthouse looking Central Park, says Yoli. Yeah. For me, I really want to look at downtown Manhattan. I really love I want a penthouse that looks at both downtown and midtown Manhattan skylines in the same apartment. Rona says, I don't look like a day over. I remember 1890s, I developed a neighborhood in Brooklyn, and it was so easy. It was so easy when I developed that neighborhood. I'm talking about a person, another person that I learned in a documentary. Yes, documentary. I myself did not ever develop a neighborhood in the 1890s. Here's what's called a foyer. I love the name of these things. Foyer. Ronald says a penthouse with a balcony. Penthouse with an entire rooftop garden. As I told everyone, this Urbanist, you think it's a show about exploring cities and learning about urban design and architecture and history and food. No, this is just a multi-thousand episode apartment hunting video. I'm in it for the long game. The long game. A multi-thousand episode apartment hunting video. No YouTuber has ever done that before. No one. No one has gotten that deep. Usually apartment hunting videos are like a 1 episode, 2 episodes. You have a lot of like vloggers here in New York City that do that. But no, I'm going the long game. Multi-thousand episode. I hit 36K. Hey, thank you everyone for 36K. I appreciate that. Here's a smokestack. This is a really cool area of the High Line. Just Cash Jordan, but live, says Dutch. Is Cash Jordan looking for a better apartment? He's a real estater. He's a agent, but I'm not sure if he's looking for something. Come stay with me in Amsterdam Avenue, says Raul. Runs down the stairs. Yes, indeed. He definitely runs down the stairs a bit too quickly. Inspired says, I know where my next trip will be located. Yeah. If you're lucky, you can stay in the High Line Hotel if you find a good in this area. Extending the High Line. Oh, yes, they are. Do you guys want to learn where it's extending to? I'll point it out. I'll put a vote. Press that like button if you want me to show where they're extending the High Line. Press that like button right now and let me know if you're in Team Like. Or you can be on Team Share if you want to go bonus and share this video with a friend on Facebook. And I will tell you where the High Line, I'll show you where the High Line is extending. So we got a lot of people who press Oregon. I appreciate you. Lisa, Tam as well. Dennis says, okay, I'll be Tom Lake. Appreciate it, Dennis. Here's a really cool view. Go around here. Used to be a billboard. This used to be a huge billboard. We're always Team Like with the moment you go live. Yes, I appreciate everyone who immediately presses that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you. Since we have more and more people tuning in every time, I will asking people to be Team Like. That's sort of the new people know. Oh, I gotta press it. Susie, you had lunch in the spot. Oh, that's so cool, Susie. Really cool place to have lunch. Rod is Team Like. Mags, hello. Hey, Abd, what's my prediction for New York? Near future. Ooh, great question. I don't really know. Optimistically, I would say people are going to have an appetite to travel again. And New York City will find out ways to make better lodging so more people can stay. The restaurants now have more space for eating outside, so that'll be a lot more enjoyable. So that's the optimistic future. But pessimistically, I think we're in for a ride economically, and that might cause a little bit of rockiness in many things in New York City. May it be real estate and also small business. Here's Zaha Hadid's, very famous architect. Inspired, you might enjoy this. Very famous architect, known for making this kind of alien-looking architecture. Very much in like that Frank Gehry school of architecture. Lots of curves. Are you near the Sleepwalker statue? Oh, Janice, that statue was only there for a year or two. Lots of the sculptures on the High Line are replaced every year or so. So this is Zaha Hadid, who does, from my perspective, is like alien-like architecture. It looks like a UFO. This one, not so much. You should look at her other architecture, especially in Central Asia. It's crazy looking. She unfortunately passed away about 4 years ago, so may she rest in peace. Yeah, she choked on an apple. It's so sad. Now, a lot of the buildings that started to structures. Neo-futurism. The kind of the curvy architecture, a lot with Gehry or Zaha Hadid, and other ones, Jean Nouveau as well. But now it's also combined with this kind of more international style. So that combination of curves with international style, sharp edges, that's becoming very hip. We heard Stephen in the distance, Stephen the seagull. And look at this condo, interesting looking condo. Whoa, this is weird. Let me know what you think about this one. Does the Triangle Waist Shirt building still exist? Yes, it does. Michael. Max Headroom says, isn't the term neo-futurism redundant? As most things in life, yes. Redundancy does not stop humankind. Chai tea, for example. Green tea matcha, another example. There's a lot of redundant terms out there in the world. Here's a rabbit on the bell. This is what I call art. Rabbit on the bell. $500,000. That's how much it costs. Queso cheese. That's that feels. Yep, that's another redundant term. Queso cheese. Ronan says, can you repeat it again? What are you referring to, Ronan? It's called Zaha Hadid. Zaha Hadid, if anyone wants to put the name. When will you do tour of Long Island City area? Christine! Oh, I've done many. Check out my videos from like a month ago. A lot of them. I visited LIC a few weeks in a row, actually. Hey, Janice, are you related to Barry? Let me know. Janice, are you related to Barry? We have a Janice Flanagan tuning in. Stephen the seagull. Yes, he's out there somewhere. I hear him in the distance. His friend John Claude might be with him. John Claude and Stephen the seagull are somewhere out there. Oh, look at that. Oh, the cloud is passing perfectly.
Oh my God, I'm gonna live there.
There he is. There's Stephen the seagull. So everyone, the Urbanist album, I'll announce this before we end. We have about maybe 15 minutes or so. I'll show you where they're constructing the High Line. But I'll announce today the album is finished. The official soundtrack is already ready for release. And the world premiere is going to be next week. So stay tuned for the world premiere of the first official Urbanist soundtrack, Urbanist album, a full album of songs that will be used in videos across any type of video I do, maybe live video for breaks or when I play music over over copyrighted music, or maybe for documentaries or vlogs or food vlogs or whatnot. There'll be a bunch of uses for it. It's going to appear on a vlog soon. You're going to get a special look in one of the songs for a vlog that's coming out probably around Monday. And then the full album is coming out. I'll tell you when exactly, probably be either Wednesday or Friday. I'll let you know exactly when is the release day. And we'll join all for the premiere. And also, after the premiere of the album, I'll post it as one video so you can listen to the entire album in one sitting. I'll be doing a live video so we can chat about the album. So I'm very excited. I really love music. I used to be a music blogger before ever making videos about cities and history. I was a music blogger for 6 years. So to me, music is very important. And if you can see from my vlogs or my documentary, music is very important to those videos. So I'm so excited for this. All right, let me keep showing you around. Let's go all the way to the end. Wow, the condo meets George Jetson. Yeah. SFfield says, what about podcasts? Not at the moment. I don't really have a good idea for a podcast. Whenever I get a good idea for a podcast, maybe I'll consider one. But I would recommend, if you want to learn a little bit more about cities, check out my podcast from my friends at Untapped New York. Really cool. They talk a lot about a lot of topics I already discussed on my live videos. Hey, someone left a super chat. Hey, Susan says half expected Rod Serling to show up. Who's Rod Serling, Susan? Let me know who Rod Serling is. Pardon my lack of musicians from the 80s or whatnot. I'm not sure where Rod Serling was a musician. But thank you so much for a $5 super chat. Do you want a tour of the Italian neighborhood in the Bronx? Oh, Arthur Avenue. Yeah, I did one a few years ago with 2 tour guides. Maybe I'll go back. Stay tuned. Rod is not a musician. Rod wrote The Twilight Zone. Why do you expect Rod to show up? Why is that? Why is that, Susan? Let us know. Alexandra says, put it on Spotify. Yes, it'll be premiering on Spotify and Apple Music as well, and Amazon Music. So you'll have access to all the major music platforms as well. And it will be available for purchase if you just want to own the song files. Everyone give an explosion of hearts to all the super chatters out there. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for lending your support for new gimbals, new microphones, transportation costs, etc. On Patreon, Facebook supporters, YT members, super chatters, and star senders. Oh, Steven has brought his friends. Joanne says, exciting news. Phyllis says, thank you for being so dedicated. My pleasure, Phyllis. Wow. Oh, another apartment building here. Condominiums, 515 West 29th. Steven wants his pie back. I would have gladly given the pie to Steven the Seagull. Gladly. Wow. It's so cool in this area. Oh my God, look at the common space area for this apartment building. This is called the Abington House on the High Line. You have front row seats to the High Line right over here. Milo, where's Bob? I don't know. You know, Bob doesn't really hang out too much in the High Line. He was in the beginning of the video with one of his Bobettes. All right, let's go out. So now we're in the exit. Have a good day. Kathy, thank you so much for the 100 stars. Mag says, I felt your pain in that video. Indeed, Max. Still not a great place to cook naked. Hey, don't adjust your visual devices. What are you referring to, Jacqueline? Here we have the shed and the vessel. Seems like you have fun doing these walks, Enterprise. I do not. These walks, as I mentioned many times, they are strictly serious. I am not having pleasure. I'm not enjoying myself. I am not having a good time. This is strictly work, strictly seriousness. It's a serious show. All right, ladies and gentlemen? Serious. Susie says, no, he's really miserable. All right, I'll show you where the High Line extends. Can I walk? You know, I'll show you the vessel first. I'll go through here to the Spur. So here's the what was the third phase of the High Line. Still closed.
What is it?
Even Marcel the rat didn't want to eat the pie. Indeed. Rona says, I'm chuckling behind the mask. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rona. That chuckle's a sound effect. Here's Hudson Yards. And the vessel. Enterprise, I appreciate your kind comments. In all seriousness, Enterprise, thank you so much for your kind compliments. Thank you. I appreciate you. Show us the spiral. Where is the spiral? I'm a bit bummed. I was reading how tall the spiral was going to be, and it's nowhere as tall as they promised. It was supposed to be taller than the Freedom Tower. And I think New York City said, nope. The place is closed. Yeah, poor vessel. Stephanie says, I'm bummed that the spiral is nowhere near as tall. Yeah. Oh, a lot of cars here. So here's the entrance. Down there is the entrance to the edge, which is the observation deck. One of the 4 observation decks now in New York City to see New York City from above. And here we have a special class. This is the Soul Cycle class. They all bicycle, but to nowhere, all in unison, while a cult leader, instructor, yells positive epithets for people to be hyped up to all cycle to nowhere in unison. That is Soul Cycle. Why do they cycle to nowhere? Who knows? The cult leader, the instructor, usually says, you are a bright, shining light of power and joy. Run, run, run. That's Soul Cycle for everyone. That was, I took part in that class for a few classes. It was like two or three. And my instructor was named Ariel as well. So he kept picking me out during the class when I was at Soul Cycle. It's like, Ariel, I'm looking at you. It was one of the few Ariels I encounter out there in the wild. Dickens says, always keep in mind that people can hear you. It's all in good fun. I'm not really... I don't mean to insult anyone, everyone. I think it's obvious that I am being absurd. I hope it's obvious. If anyone's watching this video and saying, oh my God, this man, he has some very twisted perception of reality. He's talking about cults and he's saying that he's serious while he's chuckling. Like, what's wrong with him? We need to be sent to a psychiatrist. Everyone, I think it's obvious. Have you ever met a female Ariel?
We should have done it if we just keep
Yeah, I might have dated a female Ariel. But that is for another show. All right, let me show you the extension of the High Line. Burt's Bees Vessels, yes. Burt's Bees Beehive. Burt's Bees Hive. There we go. Burt's Bees Hive. That should be the name of the vessel. Or the Lululemon funnel. The Lululemon shawarma, I think. I vote for Lululemon shawarma. Karsten says, absurdity is always welcome. Yes. I think a lot of the UK and Irish and Australian followers or New Zealand as well. Kanzuk, all the Kanzuk followers know exactly what my humor is. Show us the spiral. Where is the spiral? I don't know where the spiral is. Let's see. Is that the spiral? I think that one is it, yeah. It's like a hornet's nest, yeah. Ashley says, I didn't know I went to Hudson Yards and I live here. Oh, Ashley, yeah, the High Line. That's the main reason Hudson Yards isn't even a thing. It's because of the High Line connected to it. All right, do you guys want to go through the shops? Someone just mentioned that they'd rather see the shops. I'll show you a little bit. I don't think there's music playing. Let's play it safe. Let me see if there's music playing. Ooh, wow, that's slippery. Oh no, okay. Dave says people are leaving, but they keep the building. Yeah, indeed, that's what happens. Very rich New Yorkers don't live here, but they just, well, they're not even New Yorkers. They buy the building and just leave afterwards. All right, so I'm gonna walk through the mall. Very briefly, you can see my older videos if you want a little bit more slower walk through the mall. But the reason is I just want to show you the extension of the High Line. So let's go there. I might be copyrighted, so I'm gonna mute and put some music. Bear with me. All right, let's do this. Let's play some music. This is not the Urbanist soundtrack. I'm back to the noisy New York City. So, where is the High Line extending to? Alexandra says, show us the shoe story. I'm Jemmy. Yeah, I'm Jemmy is here. Yeah, they are. But not today, not today. So here, you see the High Line over here? This is called the Spur. Let's get on it very quickly, very soon. This is where the High Line is extending to. You see this middle area? That's where they intend to extend the tracks to go down, 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 down there. That is one of the plans for the High Line. Why? I'm not sure. Would it even make a good view? What do you think? Just really thinking about it now. Unless if they build new, cool, beautiful structures around it, it'd be kind of pointless to just go down to 10th to 9th Avenue. It'll be, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, so their aim is to extend it to Moynihan Train Hall. That's what it is. So Moynihan Train Hall goes all the way down, connect to Moynihan. That'll be really interesting if it connects directly into the train hall. I think that's the plan. So let me show you from above. I think it's this route. I don't think it's the one by Jacob Javits. That'll be too long. So I think it's here. But it's weird. It's weird. I wonder how they're going to do it. I wonder how they're going to handle all the real estate with it. That would be so cool, says Inspire. Yeah, indeed. High Line to 2 new train hall, says Jose. Yeah. Someone asked, how do I mute city noises? Oh, I don't. Just on my app, I can mute the entire broadcast and put music. Yeah, that I can do. Hey, Rosie. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Any update on the Queensway? I haven't heard anything, unfortunately. It's such a bummer. I wish. But Rosie, $10. So kind of you. Thank you so much. Rosie is joining in and sponsoring this. Spiral, is that the Spiral? Right down there? Moynihan has such a fab structure. Yeah, it'll be really cool. Ah, I see. So here's the structure we saw earlier, very far away. Oh my God, just notice her beads are coffee beans. Oh my God, look at this. They're coffee beans. Is that coffee beans? It looks like coffee beans. Or am I just not in the mood for coffee? That might be the reason. Hey, a lot of people are talking about the spiral. I don't see anything. What are you referring to? See spirals? I don't know. I think they're shells. No, I prefer to believe that they're coffee beans. But I get it. Yeah, they're probably shells. So here is what we saw earlier. They're Koei shells. Oh, thank you. Not coffee beans. Cowrie shells. Okay. Right there is the High Line earlier. 10th Avenue. Carol says I can't eat them. Oh, no. I was truly hoping they were. Any videos on the Queens Way? It's not even open. They haven't even constructed it yet. It's abandoned, so you might be able to find videos. Guys inside there probably have illegally trespassed in order to make a video inside there. So I won't do a video because this is not an urban exploration channel in that sense. But when it's open, I'll go. So here's where the Highline extension is going to be. Look at that. So from here, Carmen says, time for coffee. Yeah, I think it is. I'm a bit hungry as well. I just found out that there's a Cafe Grumpy inside Whole Foods over here, which is like the coolest thing. Coolest thing ever. So here's the extension of the Highline. Look at that. Wow, this is gonna be beautiful. You know, I can see how it can get nice, especially if they have this beautiful kind of flora on the thing where the focus is not looking out, but kind of being immersed in a forest. Oh, imagine that. Yeah, so you have this very wide portion of the Highline, but there's so many huge trees that you're almost encompassed by the trees. Let me know about that idea. I'm not sure if that's the idea, but that sounds like a good way of going about it because these buildings are not so kind of interesting. And I doubt they'll be done anything interesting. This one is huge, and I think it's worth a whole lot of money, but still owned by the post office. So let me know what they should have here. So Highline, huge trees going out, twisting towards the Moynihan. And when you twist, I think it will be a much more pleasant way to like out because the street will be right below you. There we go. Wow. A start brainstorming session. Yeah, indeed. And there we can see the edge. Now it has emerged from the fog. This rainy, gloomy day has turned to quite a sunny one. One more time, press that like button. Let's get above 400 likes so we can bring these videos to more people. I appreciate everyone tuning in. What's on top of that building? It is a observation deck. Check out my videos called The Edge. I hear many Stevens in the distance. Yep. Are they going to have a Highline in London? I don't think so, Carmen. I'm not sure if there is. There is a few elevated tracks in London, but I don't think so. All right, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the star senders, the super chatters, the PayPalers, the Amazon wish listers. I forgot a few things from Amazon wish list as well. Thank you so much for supporting the show. You help maintain the gear. Patrons as well. We've got new patrons. If you want to support the show yourself, if you enjoy this show and want to see it grow, you can become a patron. You can cancel anytime. If you want to see it grow for only a few months, that's okay. Become a patron, or just a single PayPal as well. And stay tuned, next week will be the world premiere soundtrack coming to a YouTube video and Spotify and Apple Music near you. Stay tuned for that. Now I got a nice curly hair going on. Have a great day everyone. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Bye-bye. See you future Highline.